What's going on, guys? We're the Local Play Only podcast. I'm Cam.
I'm Phil.
And I'm Andrew.
And today we're talking about Final Fantasy VII, the new trailer reaction. We're going to go into a little bit of gaming news. We're going to talk about what we did last week, and then we're going to get into our future game swap. So let's just get into it. Well, that was new.
Wow.
Wow. I mean, we couldn't see it, but I can picture it there.
We'll pretend we saw
It was beautiful.
Yeah. Really, we're over just here dancing, but...
A little bit.
So what's going on?
Not much. It's been a pretty quiet week.
Pretty good?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I mean, we're recording on a different day. That's a little weird. It's daylight.
It is daylight.
That's the first for us ever.
I never leave my mom's basement.
There's sun.
Wait, it can't possibly be the first time we recorded in daylight, though.
Not the first time,
We used
but-
to record at 5 during the summer.
Not
yeah, but down
here.
here, though.
Yeah.
I'm
Oh,
pretty
yeah.
sure
Since we moved down here, it's
since
always
we
been
moved down
winter.
here. It's been a winty time. Yeah.
That's fair. So our first topic, the Final Fantasy VII trailer, the remake. So we just talked about this a couple weeks ago because it got delayed in our delayed episode.
Yep.
And now they just come out with their new trailer. I don't know if that's maybe like to instill confidence in people.
Are they gonna do a demo? Because I keep seeing.
That's what honestly I was astonished they didn't announce.
Yeah,
in the
there's
trailer.
no way though, because it comes out April 10th. I feel like they're not going to do a demo for.
You could do a 30-day demo.
30 day.
Yeah, like you get it 30 days before.
I mean, you have 30 days to play.
Well, that could be too. They might get rid of it afterwards.
I think Phil will agree with me too. The best demo I've seen for a game was like the Dragon Quest one. Just like a straight 10 hours of playing. That's a lot of playtime to decide if you like something.
Yeah, I can't remember if there was a demo better than that, but yeah, that's a pretty good one.
That's the best one I can remember.
If we're being honest, like I had a copy of the PlayStation. I ordered the PlayStation 4 copy of Dragon Quest. Well, it was cheap. It was pretty cheap. And then I was like, well, just while I wait, maybe I'll load it up on the Switch and just play the demo for a bit.
Yeah.
And then I got like 8 hours into the demo before the game arrived, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna have to buy this on Switch now.
This is a Switch game right here.
Yeah.
That's fair. So we just finished a reaction for the video. So we just recorded us watching the video.
So, what did you want to talk about?
When spring comes, I'm leaving town.
Beautiful.
I'm going to
I thought it
Midgard.
looked weird.
Yeah, me too.
I'm going to be a soldier,
His voice is weird.
And
The
it's
best
funny
of
that
the
they
best.
changed his voice actor.
like
didn't they?
Sephiroth.
What the fuck is that?
I know what it is. You know who that is?
It's Lance Bass.
Is it really you?
Is he voiced by Lance Bass?
Are we on schedule? Please, Mr. President, I am asking you to reconsider. No, begging.
Director Twisty.
The stench of the director's cowardice fills the room yet again.
Mako supersaturation confirmed.
Engaging materia cooling to reduce temperature.
Oh yeah.
Madam Director, you have a meeting shortly.
That's a Dom right there.
Stop. Your timing is impeccably
How many villains are in
atrocious.
this game?
A
Is
lot.
that Penguin?
Oh dear.
Yeah, that's Penguin.
My refined taste running out of butter.
I fucking hate him so much.
Welcome
How do
to
you
the
feel on him, though?
Humbian Cloud.
I heard a lot of
True
people say he
beauty
was
is
all
an
like separate
expression
from
of the heart.
effect.
Yeah.
A thing without shame, to
What?
which notions of gender don't apply.
Why?
Perfection.
Not a word.
This is what people are most excited for.
But you're so pretty.
Today's bride to be is.
Today's?
Pathetic.
Which one of you said that?
You know that's a trap.
You
right
got
there.
a mouth on you. Well, aren't we having a wonderful time
Actually,
kicking the
don't
hornet's
use it.
nest?
He's new.
You know what I want.
He has
A
to.
second dance.
This
Just the
game's
two
all
of
over the
us.
place.
Yep.
This is a lot of trailer.
Hey, my boy.
A fascinating
looks
question.
Oh, did it just talk?
I am that which you see before you. Nothing more.
You gotta love anime gals.
A touching.
I mean, if the sword was that big, I'm sure they would break through that.
No. You don't know anime rules.
Very, very good.
Another villain?
And thus is the hypothesis proven correct. I can only hope you will continue not to disappoint.
There's a lot of parts in this game.
Yeah.
And this is only like part of the game too.
Yeah.
It's getting
How
time
many
to play
fucking
tag
villains are
anyway.
there?
Come on.
A lot.
Avalanche ain't Butao or anybody.
I just want to play Tifa and punch people. That's all I want to do.
That's off of Midgard.
We're here to rescue Aerith, remember?
That fight
We don't need more attention than what we're gonna get.
Yeah, I hear you.
Oh, so the combat is similar to Final Fantasy 15?
Yeah.
I heard it's more similar to Kingdom Hearts.
I know these people, and I know they're never gonna let Aerith go. She's the last living ancient on the planet. Think about what that means to Shinra's scientists.
This is
The source of everything. Genova.
I saw spoilers.
Yeah.
Suck on this!
The Shinra Electric Power Company
What
isn't
the hell
the
is
real
going
enemy.
on?
I promise you, there's a much bigger threat. I just want to do everything in my power to
Is
help
this all in the same
all
city?
of you
Yep.
Yeah.
and the
And
planet.
there's more?
Yep.
That's only like the first part.
There looked like there was like 15 villains.
Yeah, it's hard to explain without spoilers. There were some things though that they were not inside the first part, in my opinion. Like, did you see the big spot with like Leviathan?
Yeah.
The watery summon thing. That's after they leave Midgard though, and they go to like the little town. You have to climb the thing, and there's like
So
the
they might be
water.
cutting out some things to put it into other places.
Maybe.
But
I guess we'll have to wait and find out.
yeah, I'm not. It's not spoiling anything. Basically, there's people. Shinra is the big bad guy, and they're like a company, and all of the bad guys that you saw are part of that company.
Oh, okay.
So they're
it's
not
like a collective.
Yeah, they're not like
Don't worry, we'll
villain
get-
A, B, C, and D. It's kind of villain A.
Yeah.
It's
We'll get
all,
into
like,
it when
clumped
we talk
together.
about it on the podcast, though.
That was a
Yeah.
cool trailer though.
There was a lot going on, but like the thing is, they had the ability to show off a bunch of stuff because it's not really spoilers for most people.
Yeah, we played it 22 years ago.
I mean, I don't even think that's a spoiler for me. Like, I don't even know what
It's
the
just a lot
fuck
of
just
action,
happened.
but yeah, I mean that's fair. Whatever. We'll talk about it though. We'll talk
Okay.
about it,
Yeah.
which is good.
And I didn't know what the hell was going on.
Don't worry.
It's a very
Everyone
different,
else did.
It's a very different thing though, yeah, because like no matter what, like me and Andrew could watch that video like 10 times, but we still, and then we kind of pick up new things each time. Like even watching it this time, I think I found what people were talking about was one of the spoilers.
Yes. Yeah.
But then like you watching it, it's just so much that happens. It goes from like multiple different parts. Like I can tell which is going to be like the last scenes just from the trailer, which is going to be earlier, and then of course what we were all waiting for, the cross-dressing scene.
Yep.
I don't listen. Nothing against it. Nothing against it at all. But I just I don't know why. Like what the hell was
it's
going
related.
on?
Like it is important to the story. It's not just there.
But that was one of the big things when people first, like when the rumors of the remake came out. That was like people's first question.
They're
Was,
like, are they going to cut it out?
Like, how are they going to do the cross-dressing scene
Man.
live action? Like, it just like, or not live action, but like high
def.
high def. Like, it'd just be weird.
In today's day and age, I'm sure that's
Oh, it's probably way more accepted than it was in the 90s.
It's probably going to do a lot better.
It's true. It's going to have a good crowd behind it.
I hope there's a stupid minigame where you can actually pick what he wears. Like, it's not just that.
That's true.
I hope
I like it's the classic trap though in the cutscene where like he's like looking at all the pretty ladies, and then one guy's just like, what did he say? Like disgusting, like Cloud.
Yeah.
And the guy's like, what? And he
He's
like
like, "What'd you
turns
say?"
to him. It's the classic. You see the pretty girl, and then she's got the
the
deep
guy
voice.
at the Honeybee Inn looks kind of like Core the Immortal from 14.
I've just heard a lot of people say he looks like Shepard from.
He looks like
from
generic
Mass
Shepard,
Effect.
but I just picture Core the Immortal.
Yeah, I mean, Core is a little thicker.
A little thicker.
A little bigger.
Yeah, a little
but-
bigger.
Do you think that they're kind of being, not like false advertising? I don't know what the correct term would be, but they're kind of playing it a little fast and loose by not calling this Final Fantasy VII Part 1. Because, like, if I I know nothing about Final Fantasy VII myself, and for me, that seems like that's going to be a very long game, a very like played out game. But if I was like a casual person who knew nothing about it as well, and I didn't have any friends who were interested in it, I might pick it up day one and be like, okay, this is gonna be awesome.
I'm gonna finish this game.
But is it any worse than a lot of games that just have like ambiguous endings with sequels?
Yeah,
if you
but-
had no idea that there was more to the game.
Yeah, but you don't necessarily know that going in, right?
But you don't know that about any game going in.
It's true.
If it's someone who has no idea, who doesn't have friends who play it, has no idea there's like more of a game than this, they're just going to beat the game, be like, oh man, I can't wait for a sequel of this game.
But we know for a fact that they're going to do multiple.
I think they said the second one is out by the end of the year. I think there's 2 parts coming out this year. I doubt it.
How many parts do you think we're getting?
I'm putting my money on 4.
I'm gonna guess 3.
Yeah.
I think that a lot of when I was looking back at it, like when I beat the game, because it wasn't that long ago, it was within 2 years.
That was earlier this year or last year, I guess.
Yeah, there was a lot of it was just like after the Midgar spot, I actually think they need a little bit more work on. So it's a good call that they decided to lengthen that up. But there's a lot of in between, which is just like traveling around the open world, and I don't know if that's going to be in it anymore or if it's going to look really different.
Who knows? Like they could shrink the overall size of the world and
but
go with
like
that.
I'd be fine if they just kind of remove the walking around the world because it doesn't really do anything. It's a little bit there for grinding. It's all like there's all just like the really bad textures and graphics.
Yeah.
And if then you just kind of like a fast travel thing to like the next spot, I'd be fine.
Or maybe instead of seeing the overworld, it's more like 10, where you walk into the forest and the forest magically connects you to the next place.
Yeah, exactly.
Like I feel like that's how they're going to get away with it, rather than having a full open world like Witcher-sized world where you can do whatever you want. I think it's going to be.
Because I'm sure you've played a Final Fantasy game before. Any of them? Have you?
I've played and beat 15.
Okay, that doesn't count.
That doesn't count.
Everything looks good in 15.
Yeah.
But in regular Final Fantasy games, like the old ones, when you walk out of like the town, you go into this like super low texture. You're like tiny. There's like these big blocks that are kind of grass or forest or something like that, and then you kind of can walk to the next area, and there's just random encounters in between. Kind
of similar to like a Ni no Kuni in a way.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
it's just ever like
exactly.
with like really bad graphics back in the day. Like there was like no textures
I'm trying
at all.
To find a picture.
You're like, is that a thing of grass? Is that a forest? I think that if they just kind of remove that area, that'll save a lot of time because a lot of it's just like random encounters while you walk to the next town.
Yeah, I'm curious how they're gonna. Yeah, I'm not gonna be able to find it, but I'll show you later.
Yeah.
But I'm curious to see how they're gonna do. It's not a spoiler. Fuck it. Yuffie.
Yeah, like how you encounter her because you don't need to.
You can completely in most RPGs, like let's use Dragon Quest for example. There is not a single character you can miss, like party wise.
Yeah.
You get your party members 1 through 8.
There's
I
a
think
character
it is.
you could
there
finish
are
the game
2
without
characters
having.
you can miss completely without knowing.
Yeah.
One of them you have to. It's in a certain like bushel of trees.
It's when you like first leave, like Midgard, or like the first area. If you just walk into this forest, she's just a random encounter, and she like tries to steal your shit.
Yeah.
And then there's basically like a certain dialogue path you can take that then she'll join you.
Yeah, basically you treat her like shit.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's just like, are you hurt? And you can answer like, no, and then just treat her like shit, and then she joins you.
And then my favorite Final Fantasy VII character is also missable.
Yeah.
And that's more of like a puzzle. Like you go into like a haunted kind of mansion, and then you have to like find all these clues, and you open up this like safe, and then you like go into this room, and he's
that
in like
safe
a
was
coffin.
fucking hard to open up, man.
Yeah. But he's Vincent. If you've seen him, he's like the vampire.
He's the edgelord.
He's the coolest. Okay, well,
Yeah.
Is he as edgy as Kyle from Astral Chain?
he's edging
Edgier.
he's edging like a different way though.
He's very Van Helsing edgy.
Yeah, Kyle's like modern day urban edgy. You
Yeah.
know, like he would definitely like spray paint on
Like-
like brick, and
Like
then take an
tattered
Instagram
cape,
photo of it.
like pointy gauntlets. Like
Okay.
he
Steel
looks like
boots,
a
like-
cosplayer and a half. Is what he looks like.
but
he's
he's
cool,
very cool though.
I wouldn't even put him as a vampire.
I never like. I mean, he's basically a vampire.
He's
though.
more of a mutation than
You
anything.
literally find him in a coffin.
Yeah, but
It's
he,
pretty-
does, he
it's
doesn't
pretty
transform.
vampire.
His final one's a vampire, but
It's
he
true. He
transforms
just turns
into
into
things.
random beasts.
Yeah.
But I'm excited for you as someone who's never played Final Fantasy VII. I know you're choosing not to play the old game and just have like your first experience be that, and then maybe go back later.
Well, the thing is what I was thinking about is, will I really want to go back?
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe I'm not like. A lot of people think Final Fantasy VII is the best Final Fantasy. I think that's more of like the mainstream opinion.
Yeah.
Most people I know, like I think I don't know if I have a single friend who would put Final Fantasy VII as their favorite Final Fantasy game. So to me, I don't really think maybe you wouldn't have to go back and play the old one, but it could still be a fun experience, especially with like the speed up mechanics and that kind of stuff, just to like experience the story.
What I'm feeling is he's going to when you beat it, I almost feel like the hook's gonna set and you're gonna like froth for more. You're gonna be like, I need to play.
That could
I
happen.
need to find out what happens. And remember, Midgar is 10% of the original game, if that. So you could already pass where the part 1 could be in maybe an hour and a half.
See, I still think that they're making Midgard 33.3333%, and I think they're gonna have 3 parts and make them all about equal.
Yeah, but
Because they could do it. Because there's a lot in that game that's kind of
the
filler.
end of the game is jumping a lot from different places. Like obviously, I don't want to go into too much detail, but obviously there's the saucer, there's Barrett's hometown, there's Yuffie's village. I feel like they're gonna make Yuffie more like you have to get her because that's a pretty big chunk of the game
Bless
that
you,
you can
Phil.
miss. Yeah, bless you. It's a pretty big chunk of the game that you can miss if you don't have her with you. What else? Like there's the thing that happens when you're in the village.
You're keeping it real vague for you here.
Basically, at the end of the game, you're jumping around. There's the mountain.
Yeah, like
they're gonna have the dumb climbing mini game
or the snowboarding mini game. They definitely will.
They have to have the snowboarding mini game, 100%. We're not making this up.
Feels like yes. I think that I'm gonna be mad when I finish it.
Me too.
I'm gonna say this right now, where I think that the community will be mad when probably when the first part is done, but when the entire thing's done, I feel like people are gonna be like, "This is not as good as Final Fantasy VII, the original."
I don't know. Maybe it was just like this trailer got me really excited because once again, it's not my favorite Final Fantasy game, but I think that they could do really well, and I think that Square Enix recently hasn't been doing that well. And even look at stuff like Kingdom Hearts 3, like, and then the DLC that recently came out, where I fully accepted that I liked Kingdom Hearts 3, but I thought the DLC wasn't gonna be worth the money, and it was kind of like a phone-in kind of thing. I think that Final Fantasy VII is something that they know is one of like their biggest games of all time.
It's their magnum opus, and they have to polish it.
So I think they're putting a lot of work into it.
I don't think it'll be bad by any stretch of the imagination. I just think that when it comes to fan bases, someone is going to be angry. Like, I think that the fan base is going to be like, you guys are talking about how they might take certain things out, and I think that, some guy is going to have, like, their favorite mini game just be cut, and they're going to be like, how could Square Enix do this? Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's just the same thing where that's just why I hate people in general.
If they can complain, they will.
Because I like things like, that's the best part, though, is that if they don't have your favorite mini game or your favorite character in, that's why you still have a reason to then go back and play the original. You don't want this game to be the exact remake, even if you compare it to stuff like Disney recently, right? With, like, let's say Lion King, they just did a shot-for-shot remake. If it's a shot-for-shot remake, it then comes down to, like, what reason, if it's fantastic, what reason you have to go back to watch the old one then, if it's the exact same thing, just better. But if there's different stuff from the original, it means that I'm going to have two different playing experiences playing the original versus playing the remake. So I don't need to just phase out. I'm never going to play the Final Fantasy VII game again because I'm like, oh, no, I got these 17 parts of this remake now to play.
Were people upset about the like battle mechanics in this game?
I haven't seen anything
To my knowledge, they're actually adding both gameplays in. Like, I'm pretty sure I read somewhere that it is both going to be a action game like Kingdom Hearts and a turn-based game like the original. Okay. So you'll have a pick probably at the beginning of the game. You might be able to switch between where you can play however the game wants you to. It'll just, instead of smashing the screen and going into a battle, it might just, you'll stand still, the enemies will swoop in a line.
I've only seen 2 negative things about Final Fantasy VII Remake so far, and both of them are targeted by location and kind of stupid, if we're being honest. And they were Tifa's boobs. People wanted them to be bigger, because if you ever played the original game, they were like ridiculous. And then,
that's kind of cringy.
They confirmed that she's wearing a bra. That's why it's smaller.
Yes. So because she's wearing like a sports bra because she moves around a lot, which is very fair.
They have to confirm these things.
Absolutely.
So,
it's Japan.
Yeah, the thing is, and then I'll get into this in a second, and then the second thing is Aerith's face. They didn't like it because they said it was too long and she looked too old. But the thing is that she is older than the rest of the characters.
Isn't she 19?
No, she's like 21, I think.
I thought she was 19 and he's 18.
I think at least she's 21.
Is she older?
She's either 21 or 23, I'm pretty sure.
It's been a while.
But she's older. But I think a lot of it was just like, I think in Japan, obviously they are the big people who were the first Final Fantasy VII fans. But then I think that was most of the complaints were just coming.
22, you're right.
Yeah, I think most of the complaints were just coming out of that area about it because it's like not the style they're used to. You know, they liked stuff like Crisis Core when it showed them. They kind of had the traditional style. But then since this is going to be big for a Western audience now, they decided to make it more, you know.
And sorry, who did you say was going to be the oldest party member?
Who?
Yeah.
Red 13.
I'm pretty sure it's Red 13. By the way, that dog thing is Red 13, and he's dope.
Yeah, if you haven't played the game, that's a typical like someone's favorite character.
How many animals actually talk in the game?
Him.
Yeah, just him. He's not just a
2.
That's not an animal. I don't count. That's a robot. No, it's if you couldn't tell in there, it's basically just like a science experiment kind of thing. One of the first areas you actually go to after leaving, you go to the Grand Canyon.
Cosmo Canyon.
Cosmo Canyon, yeah. It's just his home. But there's going to be a lot of things. I'm excited for you to play it especially. I'm like more excited for you than excited for me.
We'll see.
Because you haven't experienced it yet. It's a fun experience.
I just want the soundtrack. That's my big. I just want the soundtrack.
One Winged Angel.
That's gonna sound great.
It's gonna
Cosmo Canyon,
it's
One
gonna
Winged
sound
Angel,
so good.
Genova, and
I'm
the
assuming
boss theme.
You've heard One Winged Angel before.
Like the bum 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 bum.
Sephiroth.
No.
You've never
What
heard
the
that?
fuck? Oh, okay.
That's an after
Yeah, that's
experience
an
for you.
after
It's just
one.
like an orchestration song.
It was
but-
one of the first video games to have like lyrics in their background music.
and they're just yelling Sephiroth at you because they want you to know
There's
he's
also
an
like
absolute badass.
Latin, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, it's if they want you to be spooked out, it's always Latin.
Yeah, it is.
We
We can't understand it.
They
Ooh.
wanted people to know that this is an absolute badass because I don't think up until that point, like I know that people are gonna disagree with me about like Kefka especially, but a lot of the early game Final Fantasy villains, it's not that they weren't good, but they weren't that
They
dramatic.
didn't have that presence. Yeah.
Yeah. Kefka's from Final Fantasy VI. He's kind of like the Joker of like the villains.
He's an evil clown.
Evil clown.
Oh, like Jared Leto.
Yeah.
Just like Jared Leto or the guy from 30 Seconds to Mars.
Okay.
But Sephiroth, I think they really wanted to make a big impact with that villain, so they gave him his own song that like when it comes on screen, you're like, oh shit, this guy's a badass.
He's not even really the bad guy.
My favorite part is
How many fucking bad guys?
my favorite
are
part
there?
is Phil not being a weeb enough when we're watching the reaction. He's like, no, that guy's sword is so big, it would definitely. I'm like, have you not seen anime?
It's not how
sword
it
sizes. They don't even matter.
Nah.
They're so big they shouldn't be
Also,
able to hold them.
His sword's supposed to be bigger than what it looks like in that trailer. I'm pretty sure canon it's 15 feet.
Sephiroth?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
What would you do if Sora shows up in the game?
He
I'd
won't.
be pumped.
Just in the background, you see him like.
Yeah, Cloud
run
gets
past.
beaten, and then like Sora, Donald, and Goofy comes in, and Donald's like,
Xenoslayer.
takes
What
him
got
out.
your back, Cloud?
It's pretty cool. I mean, I think that I haven't read the comments on the trailer obviously since we just watched it, but I think they gotta like they're gonna be positive.
Oh yeah, they have to be.
You
I'll
think
check.
so?
I'll check the likes to dislikes.
The one thing I'll agree with as someone who doesn't know the game is that trailer would probably come off like a mess because it flashes from so many different points.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
for all you know, that could all be in like the first hour of the game. But I know it's very spread out.
So I think I vaguely remember like the first trailer that was at E3.
The first trailer was about the very first thing you do in the game. You get off a train and you're going
Yeah.
to set a bomb as like an eco-terrorist.
So I think for that it was more tailored towards people who knew nothing about it.
Yeah.
Whereas this I feel like is tailored towards people who have played the game before, who can be like, "Oh, that's what this part looks like." That's
I think
what
it's
this character.
I think it
looks
was a
like.
pretty big insurance policy too since the whole delay. They're like, no, we want to instill some confidence. Like this game is coming out. Like this is just like a 2-week delay.
Yeah.
They didn't give any reason. not
Honestly,
to,
it's
but
bug fixes is probably the main reason it was delayed.
probably.
Yeah.
But I mean, it was only 2 weeks. It's
Yeah.
no one's dying.
How big's the patch going to be on day one? Though?
10 gigs.
What day one DLC are we gonna get?
Ooh, costumes.
What would you do if that was?
If
they
it
did
was,
that?
if it was,
If it's aesthetics, who cares? Like
yeah,
I
like
just
if you
won't buy
can
it.
change your like cloud sprite to like the classic one.
Ooh, I would almost pay for Advent Child Cloud costume, like with the
Oh,
cool
yeah.
long like.
I would pay
leather.
for Kingdom Hearts costume with the cape and the
Ooh,
bandages on the sword.
bandage on the sword, yeah. So it's 48,000 likes and 806 dislikes.
Okay, yeah, that's pretty.
I think it's pretty even.
I think the Final Fantasy fan base is still really accepting. Now I come from like Final Fantasy 14. I haven't played it in a little while, but my big game. A lot of friends in that game, stuff like that. And like when something bad comes out, now a lot of this is we've talked about it before, but a lot of this is about the hero Yoshi P, where he listens, he plays the game, stuff like that. So like in Final Fantasy 14, if there's ever an issue, no one's ever concerned. There's not fans raging. They're just like, yeah, no big deal. We'll just mention this issue and
Yeah,
they'll
just be
fix
like,
it.
hey man, can you get around to it? And he'd be like, yeah, dog.
Yeah,
I
he's
got
probably
it.
already on. He probably saw it himself. Like, oh yeah, I don't like that either. Now I don't think right now everyone has that same faith in Square Enix.
What would you guys do if this? So they'll release the game, and then they're saying that no other Final Fantasy VII is going to be physically released, and it's all season pass.
Depends on it. Like I don't care about that kind of stuff, assuming the price is fair.
Yeah, if it's a season pass, I'm okay with it. Only for the fact is, if I look at my shelf, I don't want to see 4 cases or 3 cases of Final Fantasy VII. It would look a lot nicer if it was one case, and then it was just add-ons.
I would be mad if like if there was no physical copy.
Yes,
in gaming news too later, I think we'll get into something about a physical copy.
Yeah,
information about that. But I would be mad if there was no copy. But if they came out with like this one and it's like the $79.99, and then they come, it's a season's pass. Like let's say it's
$99.99.
Yeah, and you get all 4 parts, or if they confirm how many parts there are, kind of thing. I'm not going to care about that because like it's the same game, right? It's
so you'd
just
be okay
different.
with it?
Yeah, it's like it's the equivalent of asking if I'd be okay if like the Wolf Among Us, if they came out with a season pass, or like kind of episodic. Like this is an episodic kind of thing.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong in that format. That's honestly probably the best way to do it. They can cut down on their own company with like costs by doing it that way.
Do you think that's a possibility?
Yeah,
if they're smart.
And
honestly.
then once all the parts are released,
they'll release a complete edition or something like that.
Yeah. So just general
which they
feelings
do
on
with Telltale games. They release them episodically, and then they release the complete
that
edition
when the
later.
whole thing comes out, there's going to be like a complete edition kind of thing. Like,
do you think you'll buy it?
I mean, probably. I'm a
if
sucker.
the case is cool to fill up my shelf, maybe.
Depends on how much money I have when it comes out. Like at least by that time that's out, I'm already married and I have like money, I guess. So
yeah, that'll be
fine.
2025 is my guess.
It's just this year I have no money.
By the time the whole thing's done, 2025.
If they're gonna release 2 parts this year,
who knows?
The thing is, though, depending on how well the first part does, it's going to be such a game changer for like if the first one comes out and it's super well received. People are talking about, like just the part ones are like a game of the year, like it's fantastic. Like they've already got everyone. Like everyone who bought the first part is going to buy the second part, and probably more people from hearing the hype about it over like a year or two.
What if the game's only 20 hours?
They've said it's 40, so.
They always say it's 40.
Yeah, but when have they really been wrong though?
Usually, like RPGs, they will go out and like most JRPGs, they will say you're looking at about a blank hour game. American RPGs are ones who be like, yeah, you'll get 40 hours.
Yeah, I just
shifty look.
Now I'm sure there is a time where this happened, but like for Square Enix, for instance, I know that once again they're not like the best right now. Like they've had a lot of. They also have a lot of weird properties these days and a lot of different types of games.
Yeah, they have like Hitman. They have
yeah, but like
Raider.
I don't think I can think of a last time where they were like, yeah, this game's like I don't know how many hours they said Final Fantasy 15 was, but I mean you definitely could put that many hours in that game.
Yeah, chapters 1 through 8. You could easily put
you could put tons
200 hours into.
But what happens if it's only 20 hours? Like let's just say it is, and then all of the other parts are 20 hours and 4 parts at full price.
Once again, it depends on the experience for 20 hours. If it's the best 20 hours of my life, I won't complain. If I finish the 20 hours and I was like, oh, like that's it, then I'd be sad.
Yeah, if that's the case, then I would wait until the final chapter's out and buy just the whole thing. Like if it's only 20 hours, hypothetically, I wouldn't buy the season pass or anything like that.
But it's like anything. Like if you bought Hollow Knight for $79.99, it was 20 hours. Would you be upset?
Yeah.
If they were the best 20 hours that you've ever played?
Which it is.
Maybe. Well, we can even look at Astral Chain. Took me only 15 hours to complete. Paid $60 for it.
Yeah.
Well, weren't you saying that there's some Hollow Knight fans that are like, you're dumb for not charging $59 for this game?
No, they're like, yo, you guys need to put this up for more people to pay more money for it. And I can understand it. Like if it's a team of only like 4 people. And they're charging so little for a game that they put a lot of work into.
But I mean, like that, I don't know. That makes me respect them more. And not even just about games, that kind of stuff. Like I was even watching a video today. I've been doing a lot of editing, obviously, for these videos. And there's so many people on YouTube that like, they put out their presets and stuff like that. And like one today when I was looking at it, he was basically like, yeah, it's $2.99 if you want to buy it, like $2.99. He's like, or here's like a coupon code free. You just use it out there and it's free if you want. Like he's giving you the option to support him if you want to, or the option to have it free. Like I don't know, that makes me like that person a lot.
Yeah,
it's pretty cool. But like we're getting a little off topic. Final Fantasy.
We are.
Trailer. How good was it?
Fantastic.
Certain buy. Is there any chance you're not getting Final Fantasy 7 Remake?
Yeah, I for multiple reasons I am buying it.
So are you and Jess gonna have separate playthroughs, or are you just gonna play together?
I might just like watch her play it, and like I said, I've played it. I don't need to play it. I'm there for the music.
I'll need to play it.
I'm there for it. Like I've.
Is there a collector's edition? Is it going to come with a soundtrack?
There was a collector's edition. It was available only on the Square Enix website, and I'm pretty sure it was $500 Canadian.
Yeah, but it probably came with a ridiculous cool statue.
Yeah, it came with Fenrir.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Fenrir is a motorcycle, by the way.
That's pretty sick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not a real motorcycle.
I'm obviously 100% going to buy it. I also don't have any games that are anytime near that, so.
I have 2, but my brother's coming over and we're just gonna beat it in a weekend.
Yeah, that's just what, Resident Evil.
Resident Evil, yeah.
Yeah, then that'll be at least a fast beat.
And then I have Persona 5, which I don't need to rush into a crazy ahead of time. So
you also have Animal Crossing.
That's not for me.
That's for Jess.
Oh.
Yeah.
And Phil, are you going to be picking up? Final
I
Fantasy
will
VII
pick
Remake?
it up.
Why do you sound? I think you're gonna love it. I'm excited.
We'll see.
The first impressions of that, we'll do maybe like a first 5 on that. More actually, I think more of first 5 just to hear your opinions and we can kind of talk about it. And
we've gone over our opinions on it. We're more excited to hear what a complete nubber scrubber ducky wants to talk about.
Yeah. So that's it for the Final Fantasy VII trailer reaction, and we are gonna have a video up on YouTube too with the actual reaction of us watching it.
Ooh,
should be good. Maybe
that's
it'll
fun.
be in the video. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see.
Who knows?
Hey guys, thanks for watching. If you want to see any of our previous content, like our last episode or any other episode from any of the seasons, it's just right there for you on the left side. And be sure to subscribe if you'd be so kind. It is right there. Thanks, guys.